So I spent 4 of my hard-working hours yesterday watching one Zack Snyder's Justice League.
During work?
No. I watched the first 3 hours, and then I had to stop to go to work, and then I watched the last hour.
Oh, okay. It's a long movie.
It is a very long movie. It's 4 hours and 2 minutes long.
Now, I've heard some things about this movie. I want to see what your thoughts are on it first.
You know, I really didn't expect for Steppenwolf's mom to be named Martha, but, you know, I think it was a real bold job.
Oh, my God. Amazing.
I know, right?
I wouldn't expect that.
It's crazy. No, but, I mean, what... It's definitely made by the same guy who made Batman v Superman. Like, what do you want? Like,
because the thing that I saw about it was people were like, "Okay, this is just going to be a long, not that good movie." But then people
and to be fair, it is a long, not that good movie.
Well, that's the thing. I've heard people say like, "Okay, it's good. It's not amazing. It's not like it's super memorable, but I could watch it and enjoy it."
You see, I think we have to take into account public perception of this movie right now, because they are directly comparing it to what came before, and there is a portion of the audience that wants it to be good no matter what. You understand? So, is it a better movie than the 2017 version we got? Yes. Is it a good movie? I don't know. I don't think so.
Do you think when people stop talking about how, my God, this is really an improvement on the original Justice League, people are going to go back to where they were before and say, it's not that good.
I think the only thing people will ever say about this movie is how interesting it is that it just exists. Like, the fact it exists is crazy.
Very strange.
It's very strange. WB gave him an extra $70 million to finish it. Like, what? That doesn't happen.
They reshot scenes, right?
A couple. Most of it is all old footage that they shot back in 2015 or whatever.
Was cut.
Yeah, and a lot of it was cut and stuff. So yeah, it's Justice League, just much longer. So it has a lot more time to explain itself, and for some reason it still doesn't do a very good job in some moments of explaining itself.
How long was the original movie? Was it 2 hours?
Under 2 hours.
Under 2 hours?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Cut.
And I'll say this, to directly compare the two, I think for the most part it's pretty much all the same movie, just with a lot more talking and a lot more slow-mo, and like some forced like backstory exposition shit for some of the side characters that get no screen time in the original cut, until the third act. The third act is dramatically different.
Oh, it is.
Like, characters do entirely different things, and like the climax of the movie is entirely different.
So any like sequel potential would be different based on the Zack Snyder cut?
Yeah. Yes.
Ah.
But the problem is we've already gotten sequels in this quote unquote universe that are based off of the cut we have. So
did Wonder Woman go off then?
Wonder Woman 1984 did.
It takes before. But it takes place before all that stuff.
So so they can still do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, this universe is dead. Like, nobody's coming back to this universe. This was just a fun little experiment that we could do. So, it's almost disappointing because there's scenes in this Zack Snyder cut that I'm like, I almost kind of want to know what happens here. But at the same time, this filmmaking is not good. If you actually, for some reason, took this movie and made it a mural painting with like the full Zack Snyder plan story and all the sequels and everything, like from Man of Steel all the way to whatever the Avengers Endgame version of this universe would be, it would make a really interesting like mural painting story, like that, like, in like you just like pan a camera over that and have all the imagery and stuff and like some like crazy narration or whatever. That would probably be a better way to deliver the story they're telling.
So, but even with the Suicide Squad movie that's coming out, that wouldn't do anything with it?
Yeah, that has nothing to do with anything that's happening. So
it doesn't seem like it is.
None of it is connected. None of it matters.
It feels like they've done so much work in trying to make the Justice League cinematic universe actually play out well.
Let me stop you there. They stopped trying after Justice League, the original Justice League came out. So that's 3-4 years ago now.
I would like to think that, but then like, oh, here's $73 million to make it better.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
Experiment.
Yeah. But you have to understand,
it's an experimental
since
film,
Justice
is what
League,
you're saying.
we've gotten Aquaman, we've gotten Birds of Prey, we've gotten Joker, we've gotten, we're getting The Batman. None of those movies are in the same universe. I mean, arguably Birds of Prey is, but like, also not really. Like,
who fucking knows?
Who fucking cares? Is my point. Like,
obviously enough people to watch a 4-hour-long cut.
I was just curious. I was just curious. I'm not gonna call it bad.
The original?
No, the new one. The original is terrible.
That's what I was saying. It's a cut of that movie.
Yeah. I would say this version is better, but it's longer.
Kind of evens itself out in a way.
And it's not nearly as exciting. Guess what? What minute mark of the movie do you think we see Batman for the first time?
Like 45 minutes.
You know what? You're closer than I thought you would have been.
Like, is it an hour?
Because it's like an hour 16.
Who the fuck's in that movie before that?
Steppenwolf. Wonder Woman's intro fight scene takes place before that. Oh yeah, surely it does. Yeah, it absolutely does.
I never watched the original Justice League movie. I might have to just watch this. Like, what is...
You should watch them back to back.
I don't think I want to do that.
Well, not the same day. No,
but
no. You should
but I don't think
you should watch one and then like a week later watch the other one.
To see what they did?
Yeah. It's very fascinating. I rewatched the original movie like 2 years ago or whatever, and I was like, wow, this movie's really bad. And then I watched this one yesterday, and I was like, all right, this is a movie.
And like, I spent time watching it.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot. It just it has a lot more to offer, but I just don't know if I want. It's the difference between a McDonald's burger and an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like,
which one's which?
The Zack Snyder cut is the all-you-can-eat.
Okay.
Like, the McDonald's burger's shit and crap and no one likes it, but we ate it, and that's all we can say about it. And then, you go to the all-you-can-eat buffet, and you're like, yeah,
I'm enjoying myself a little bit more.
I enjoyed myself more, but are we going to say that this is like some dope-ass food? No, it's not. Like, it's meh. But, anyways.
Well, what isn't meh, Tavin?
Video games aren't meh, Connor.
Well,
and that's what we're here to let me do the intro.
Definitely be meh. I really can.
We're here to talk about video games, okay? And because this is the Two Penny Gamescast. What's poppin', players? Welcome back. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friend and co-host, Connor Elliott. Say hi to the people, Connor.
Hey, yo.
And, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every week with this show to talk to you about all the new and exciting news that you need to know in the video game industry. And this week, Connor, we got an okay lineup, I think. So, the general idea is we are the Two Penny Gamescast. So each week, me and Connor each come to you with two of our own pennies, our two topics, if you will, and give you our 2 cents on them. And you can get this show every week, Monday, 8 a.m., youtube.com/2pennygamescast, or search your favorite podcast app, Two Penny Gamescast. We're on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, Google Podcast, or I guess Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Did I miss one? I saw the thing on Kindle. I don't know how we got on Kindle, but I saw it on
Really?
there. Yeah, like months ago. I've mentioned this before on the podcast. But
Forgot about that one.
Yeah, you can catch us Monday, 8 a.m. And this week, Connor, we are switching it up this week. All right? Usually Tuesdays, 1 p.m. at twitch.tv/2pennygames. You can catch me and Phil recording live Hype. Have you ever played? Where one of us shows the other one a video game that we love and introduce it to them and yada, yada, yada. Last week, Connor, we finished Gears of War 1. I played it, me and Phil played it co-op. It was my first time playing it. Phil is going to be coming in at the end of the show with After the Hype, which you can catch as a breakout segment at youtube.com/2pennygamescast. And we're going to be giving our review of Gears of War 1 2021 edition. Well, in terms of like when we're reviewing it. And last week we started Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, Phil's first time. It's a very exciting time. Snake Eater, my favorite video game of all time.
What did he get to?
He is past the pain.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So you know that joint where they wheel the end out and you can kill the end early? That's where we got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, quick question.
Yeah.
So he's gotten past the meme bits of that game that are always referenced, such as the the revolver segment.
Yes.
Okay. Huh.
Well, I mean, there's still some more meme bits to come, but yeah. He's gotten past like the meow and the figure, the gun twirling and the gun twirling to kill the hornets. Anyways, but it's a very exciting time. He started the game, wasn't liking it as much as he liked MGS2. But I think it's winning him over, Connor. And I think by the end of it, we might have something. In fact, this week while we were at work, he said, "Damn it, Tavin, I just want to play more Metal Gear." It's the first time he said that to me in this entire little adventure we've been on. And I was very excited to hear that.
Is that because of Metal Gear 3, or is it just because he's been playing Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3? And
who knows? Maybe it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Who knows? However, this week we will not be recording hype. I've got a family thing I gotta go to. It's gonna take me all day. So Phil should be. We talked about it. He said he would do it. Should be streaming anyways. So you can catch him streaming probably some Valorant. Maybe something else. Over at twitch.tv/2pennygames. Probably around 1 p.m. again, or just whenever. Just keep an eye out. He'll be there. Maybe when I get done with my family thing at the nighttime, I'll do some extra streaming too, just for shits and giggles.
He'll be still on there, yeah.
Yeah. And then we will return next week, the 30th, to continue our adventure in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. But, Connor, let's go ahead and jump into the first topic, the first penny, your first penny of the show today. PlayStation. Introducing Haven Studios. This is from the PlayStation blog. Introducing Haven, a new Montreal-based independent studio. It's been a strange and difficult past 12 months. The pandemic, social injustice, and job elimination have impacted many of my who's writing this? Jade Raymond. Oh, Jade Raymond, CEO and new founder of Haven Entertainment Studios. Pandemic, social injustice, and job elimination have impacted many of my closest friends, family, and coworkers. All of these factors, paired with an inability to see friends and family face to face, lulled me into a kind of self-reflection cocoon where I had to ask myself some tough questions about what really matters. I've been making games for a long time, over 25 years now. I've had the opportunity to lead the creation of 2 highly successful original IPs and build multiple teams and studios from the ground up. Some of these adventures have been more successful than I could have ever imagined, and others less so. Several people have asked me recently, quote, "After all these experiences, do you still want to be in the games industry?" The answer is always an unwavering yes. The game industry is where I belong. Whether it's playing Settlers of Catan with my kids or Valheim with my team, games continue to bring me joy. They're a way to relax, connect, and share experience with people I care about. And the act of making games is, in many ways, even more fulfilling. Getting to bring together experts across so many different creative fields, from music composers to concept artists to programmers, yes, programmers are creative too, into a perfectly synced orchestra that delivers new worlds for players to explore. For me, there is nothing more fulfilling or rewarding I can imagine doing. As I took stock of my career over the last few years and started to think about what to do next, I came to a very simple conclusion. I need to get back to what I love doing most, and do so in a way that gives our team the freedom to explore, inspire, and create. And so today, I'm announcing Haven, an independent studio where many of the talented game developers I have worked with for years and love dearly are coming together to do what we are most passionate about. It's time for us to refocus on games. In a place where we can practice our crafts without any barriers or impediments, we want to create worlds where players can escape, have fun, express themselves, and find community. We want to pour our passion into a project. We want to make something wondrous for people to experience because we believe in the power of games to bring joy to people's lives, and Sony does too. Their commitment to excellence is unmatched. It's why I couldn't be happier for their backing and support. Together, we want to create games that are a haven for players, and we want to build a studio that is a haven for developers. So while we don't have many details to announce today, I want the PlayStation community to know that Haven Studios is already hard at work on an unannounced IP. We can't wait to show you more. So, Jade Raymond was the creative director or something for Google Stadia's first party studio that obviously never came to do anything, and she's been if you pay attention, she's done a lot of things. She's deep rooted history in the industry.
Just to name a few, she's been the managing director for Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, keeping up the Metal Gear theme. Executive producer for Assassin's Creed 2, Bloodlines, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and Watch Dogs. Managing director for Assassin's Creed Unity, Far Cry 4. She's been in a lot of things. She's done a lot of things.
A lot more hits than misses.
A lot more hits than misses, yes. She's
a lot more
very
hits than
prolific and successful woman in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see what kind of IP she's making.
Yeah.
Obviously, she has the backing of Sony, so it's going to be on PlayStation 5. They'll need to start making games with their PlayStation 5 now.
This feels very much to me. I think it's clear that they keep calling it an independent studio. So to me, this seems like it's not a first party studio. They can go out and do whatever they want. But for right now, they're going to make a PlayStation game.
Yes.
Much like how Kojima came out with the new Kojima Productions and made Death Stranding.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're not going to get a Death Stranding game.
No.
But I can very much see us getting something really solid, probably pretty soon. Jade has been kind of burned lately on a bunch of different projects. Google Stadia, a couple projects before that, or a couple projects that happened before that. It's been a while before she's been able to put out a game. I think the most recent game you said on that list was what?
Well, actually, the most recent was Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is what she worked on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because she went from EA to thing. Well, okay, so Battlefront 2 came out and had its issues.
A lot of issues. And it's gotten better. It
got
better.
I love where Battlefront 2 is right now. I wish the player base was a little more active. I wish...
Play it on PC?
Yeah. I wish the player base was more active. I wish they were still giving updates, but I assume that's just so we can get a Battlefront 3.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so Jade, very prolific, very successful. Been a minute since she's put out something that, was beloved. Because even her more recent projects, Assassin's Creed Unity is I'm not going to say worst, but it's the least favored game in the entire franchise.
Definitely. It was the most broken upon release out of all the ones that came out.
Watch Dogs the first one wasn't beloved.
No. It was a game that promised a lot, but wasn't able to deliver on it, especially with relating to graphics and game mechanics.
Yep.
So it was pretty underwhelming.
And then, what did you say? Oh, Battlefront 2, obviously its own issues. And then, spending, 2 years at Google Stadia and seeing nothing come of that. So I'm sure that's very disappointing. It seems like she's hard focused on being like, all right, we are fucking getting this shit together and we are putting something out.
Yeah.
And PlayStation is a good company if you want to put out a game, they're gonna put out your game.
I know, especially a lot of new games that come out. A lot of them are featured on PlayStation, such as Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, all the way back in the day.
Yep.
A lot of games that have become very, very popular originated through PlayStation.
Yep.
So this is her chance to be able to get back into making games, focusing on what she actually wants to do, and make a new great game.
Now, there's a few quotes in here that we can pull from to maybe get an idea of where we're going with this game. And it could really be anything. It's an original IP. So really all we can kind of guess is genre.
Yeah.
And nothing more off of that. So, where was the quote about what they want to do? Ooh, I need to get back to this. We want to create worlds where players can escape, have fun, express themselves, and find community. This sounds like a multiplayer game to me.
It does.
Now,
it does sound like one.
There has been a critique for a long time. PlayStation Studios doesn't have a good multiplayer-centric game. Fairly true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the closest I can point to is No Man's Sky or something, which didn't launch as a multiplayer game.
I'm having a hard time thinking about what they have exactly.
They've got, they really don't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
Killzone multiplayer didn't ever really hit. You've got The Last of Us 1 multiplayer, which kind of hit with the remaster, and then but eventually died off like all other things do. The Uncharted multiplayer was always fun for a few minutes, and then everybody kind of dropped out, and everyone was like, "All right, this is fine."
I played it. I'm done.
Yeah. So they really don't have anything hardcore. They don't have a Call of Duty. They don't have a Halo. They don't have a Gears of War where people come. They don't even have a Destiny that you can only get on PlayStation that people come to week after week after week after week after week and just keep coming back to play games with their friends. So that is probably my biggest guess as to where they're going. Cool. Wait and see. Be excited to just wait and see.
She mentioned that a lot of the people who are going to be a part of Haven are people she's worked with in the past. So I'm curious as to whether obviously Stadia failed, and it had a lot of game developers who went on there expecting to make games for them, and they never really did.
Never
fizzled
happened.
out. So
I'm sure they were working on something, and it just never.
Yeah, it just
never
fizzled
happened.
out. Nothing ever came from it. So I can see a lot of this team being made up of people who were working on Stadia, because they did promise Google promised their the Stadia workers that they were going to distribute them among the rest of Google to do, to still have a job. Yeah. I could see this as being a way for a lot of those developers to have taken an out to go back to making games, which most of them probably wanted to do in the first place.
It's another reason as to why this reminds me so much of Kojima. Because, Konami burned Kojima, and then he just took all his people and said, all right, we're going over here.
Yeah. Like, follow me.
And we're going to go make a game. And they said, fuck yeah, let's go make a game. So this sounds just like that, where she goes, all right, I've got enough clout to get a PlayStation deal. I'm going to go make a game. Who wants to come with? And they were all like, oh, we like you. Yeah, let's go make a game.
I mean, that's what happens when you work for years in the gaming industry with these big companies. Eventually, you can just say, okay, I've made a name for myself among the industry itself.
And people like you.
People seem to like
you can't
her.
be out here and be an asshole.
No. That never works out. And people have notoriously lost jobs because they were assholes. Not even including sexual harassment allegations. But I'm interested to see what she's going to make. Multiplayer game, open world RPG. Who knows?
Me too. I hope it's good.
I hope it's good.
Making games is hard.
Yeah.
And you know what else is hard, Connor? Apparently, making games for 2 different console generations. As my first penny of the day. This is I'll say, your pennies this week, much more news focused. Mine, a little more think PC, a little more like fun. We're having a good time.
Well, is one of them, we're having a good time. Yes,
we're having a good time.
That's a good way to say it.
We're having a good time. So, this is an article from IGN by Rebecca Valentine. Control developer making games for 2 generations of consoles at once, quote, sucks. Turns out, making games is hard. Who knew? And it gets way, way harder when you have to make a game function on 2 completely different generations of consoles at once. According to Control developer Remedy's communications director Thomas, excuse me for this name, Puha,
I think.
Puha? That's the best I got.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Thomas, if that's wrong. On Next Gen Console Watch, Puha outlined the struggles developers go through to bring games like Control from one generation to the next, especially when the studio doing the work is a smaller one with fewer resources, like Remedy. Quote, whenever you're in this cross-generational point, to be blunt, it sucks, Puha said. You have to support the previous gen, make sure that sings, and then whenever you bring to next gen, and then let me take that again. You have to support the previous gen, make sure that syncs, and then whatever you bring to next gen is still limited by the choices you made years ago for the previous generation. It's not a very realistic thing that this old game, we're just going to remake everything and then bring it to next gen. It's just not like that. It's not a reality for us, because you're literally taking away resources that are building the future games and improving the engine for the future. Puha continued, saying that this is why PS5 and Xbox Series games right now don't look as good as we might want them to. Better than the previous generation, certainly, but maybe not quite the dramatic upgrade people might have wanted. Quote, the games that will come out, the stuff we're working on, the visual bar, you're going to be blown away. And you only need to look at previous generations. You look at something like Modern Warfare. I can't understand how that game looks so good on Xbox One and PS4, and you're going to have the same on this current generation. We're going to see so much improvement. Puha pointed out that many of the problems with developing games for new generations are related to developer resources and tools. He noted that Control originally was shipped on a version of its game engine from August 2019, but then the engine completely updated to incorporate next-gen support, effectively breaking everything Remedy already had in place. Quote, when you get to the point where you have to get a game running on next-gen systems on a new engine, it takes several months just to get everything working, he said. Nothing works at first. The content looks wrong. The textures look wrong. The lighting is busted. But because we've made all these improvements, but then they're incompatible with what we had in 2019. It took months. The game is running. We had it running back in the summer of last year, but it didn't have any of the nice things. It just took quite a while to get to the level where we had everything working that we had in the previous gen version. Now, we can actually start doing all that cool next-gen stuff. Developers effectively have to pick and choose what they want to work on, he said. But if they want to fully make use of every piece of next-gen tech for a game being brought over from the previous gen, that can take up time they might otherwise be spending making new games. Quote, we could keep developing features for this game for months, if not a year, but then you're already screwing up the next project that is expecting to get these developers to work on that game. That's just the reality of a multi-project organization. Oh, and then, Control Ultimate Edition is out for current or next-gen consoles. Connor, what do you think about all this?
Well, it makes sense that when you have a game that was made for the PS4, and knowing how long games can, take to make, they obviously were planning on doing it on the PS4 for a while, and now that they had the PS5 come out, they had to transition over onto that to try and boost up that console. Because I remember Control was one of those games that was really advertised with, hey, this is one of our games that's being updated for this new console, and it's going to look great.
Yeah.
But
and then they also had that terrible deal where you had to pay, like, some amount of money. I forget. It was shitty. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah, but it makes sense that they would have to have a big issue with transferring things that were made on one engine to another, where things, even though they have better capabilities, the game wasn't initially made for that. So it only makes sense that that's going to be an issue with developers that are having to make their next version of a PS5 game.
See, and this is why when next gen was being marketed and we were, getting that wind up for release and the whole marketing thing, and we were being shown games like Bug Snacks, and we were given games like Demon Souls Remake, and
which was made for the PS5. It always has been.
And the Halo Infinite, even though that got delayed to later this year, probably next year.
Who knows?
There was a criticism going on online, and I even heard it from you a little bit of this is what next gen is, and I go, guys, like that's not a fair comparison. Compare he even does it in this article. Compare Call of Duty Ghosts to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare makes Ghosts look, and they came out on the same console. Modern Warfare makes Ghosts look like an early PS3 game. It's just, you just have to give it time for the devs to catch up to the technology and really stretch their limits to what this new tech allows them to do. They have to learn. It takes they have to learn. They have to experiment. Yeah. They have to try new things, and it takes a lot of time. So we're not going to be seeing crazy, oh my god, I can't believe we're playing these types of games until probably a year and a half, 2 years from now, maybe.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because it takes something like a video editing. You could work on Adobe Premiere for years and years and years, and you've got it all down to a science. You just get better and better and better. Transition to over... I can't think of any other video editing software because most people probably wouldn't transfer over to anything else. But changing to something else, you'd be like, okay, well, now I have to learn how to do this.
You have to relearn the tools.
I remember that I had to... I worked with Adobe Premiere at college for one of my college courses.
Now that's a little different because the game devs work within a game engine like, say, Unreal.
Yes.
And then they port that into the PlayStation 5 kit.
Yeah.
Toolkit. So
it's really just a matter of relearning.
Like they're teaching it, but like it's figuring out how to make it compatible with the two things. So anyways, continue.
Yeah, but I did that for a class. I learned how to use it, and I got the basics done. Like I kind of understood how to use Adobe Premiere. Fast forward the next 2 semesters later, my final semester, and I had to edit some small clip, very different from the project that I originally had to edit with Adobe Premiere, and I didn't have access to Adobe Premiere. So I said, okay, let me just download this random...
Final Pro X or some shit, yeah.
I don't fucking know what it was. It was like janky as all hell.
Sure.
And I was just like, well, the shortcuts that I use for Adobe Premiere just don't work on this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, now I have to relearn how to just use this simple editing software, despite the fact that I have experience with it and I should know how to make it work. It's a good example for what happens with something like this.
There's not a lot of uniformity within programs, and so when we get these leaps in technology, it's a relearning process. So you might be able to put out a product that was let's say project 1 was, a 9 out of 10. Your next project, but you have to move over to a different system, might be another 9, but it'll be compared to your last work, and it just won't be as good because you had to, get your training wheels and, put the training wheels on and then take them off and then start riding your bike again. A lot of those shortcuts, like you were saying, may not be there. We use Studio One to record the podcast, but I use OBS to record Hype. And then what else do I use? And then I use Photoshop to make thumbnails and stuff. Zoom out is different in all 3 programs. Zooming in and out just to see the different lines or whatever is a different shortcut. I don't even know the shortcuts anymore.
You would think you think things that would be universal really aren't.
They're just not.
So and then you're like, now I got to make a game better than it was before while having to overcome all this stuff.
As far as I can tell, the only shortcut that is universal is undo. But even in Photoshop, it's an undo function, but it functions differently, and there's a different command key for that. So, anyways, I just thought it was just an interesting little conversation, something to think about while we dive in to this next generation of consoles.
It is always a good insight to, despite how you even if you're wanting more advanced games and you're playing more advanced games, it's always good and important to always see what the developers are going through to achieve that. Because obviously when you compare something that's being new compared to something that's old, there's going to always you have to realize how were they able to successfully
context matters,
make things better.
Context matters. Very, very well said. Now, Connor, let's move on to your second and final penny of the day. Yeah? Evo is being welcomed into the PlayStation family. This is from Sony Interactive Entertainment.com. Welcoming Evo into the PlayStation family. In 1996, a fledgling fighting game tournament sparked a cultural phenomenon that drew in an international following through its inspiring exhibitions of skill and fun. In the decades since, countless legendary battles in that story tournament, now known as the Evolution Championship Series, EVO, have been waged in the virtual arenas of timeless games, many on PlayStation consoles. Today being the 18th of March, today, we're thrilled to announce that the next chapter in the story of PlayStation and EVO, the world's largest and longest-running fighting game tournament, Sony Interactive Entertainment has teamed up with RTS to acquire EVO through a joint venture partnership. With expertise spanning esports event management, brand and developer consulting, and gaming talent management. RTS is a new venture led by CEO Stuart Saw and backed by investors including global entertainment, sports, and content company Endeavor. EVO co-founders Tom and Tony Cannon will remain closely involved in an advisory role to ensure EVO continues to service the fighting game community and support its vibrant growth. This partnership marks a new collaboration bringing together the resources and expertise that will allow us to elevate the global reach, scale, and fan engagement surrounding this iconic gaming tournament. EVO Online kicks off this August with the support of world-class publishers. EVO is returning this year as EVO Online, a fully online competition taking place August 6th through 8th and 13th through the 15th. Entry will be free, and players in North America, Europe, Asia, and Latin America, will be able to compete in Bandai Namco Entertainment's Tekken 7, Capcom's Street Fighter V Champion Edition, Warner Bros. Games' Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, and Arc System Works' Guilty Gear Strive in an open format. The online qualifiers will be live streamed for fans, and more details will be shared in the coming weeks on evo.gg. Our collective team is laser focused on one mission, preserving the authenticity of EVO for the fighting game community and finding creative ways alongside our fans to grow the tournament and make its events and broadcasts more fun, engaging, and accessible than ever. At its core, EVO will remain what it has always been, an open format competition that gives fighting game fans from different countries a chance to connect, test their skills, and forge new friendships. For PlayStation, today's announcement marks an exciting step in our journey to foster the growth of the fighting game community and esports and support competitive gamers widely on our consoles. Fighting games are hugely popular on PlayStation consoles, with gamers logging more than 1.1 billion gameplay hours in 2020 alone. Well, that's not fair. That's a skewed statistic. We're committed to breaking down the barriers for gamers to compete at all levels and providing a best-in-class global platform for them to showcase their skills and passion. We also want to voice our support for EVO's message today about creating a safe and inclusive environment for players. At PlayStation, we've always made that our highest priority. As a collective team, we'll work closely together to ensure that future EVO events are safe and welcoming for the entire community. We'll have much more to share about what's coming for EVO 2021 in the coming weeks and months. For the latest updates, please check out evo.gg.
Now, a little bit of information, because they didn't go into it in that article for obvious reasons, but EVO was canceled last year. It was going to be online.
That's right.
Because of the pandemic hit. They couldn't do it as they originally did it. But a lot of people pulled out of the event because what was his position in there? What was his position? Was he the CEO? Co-founder and organizer was accused of sexual harassment allegations. So a lot of people in defiance of that.
From someone on the outside, it seems like that community has a lot of issues with.
I mean, the Smash community in and of itself. I mean, it's literally a joke that there's a Smash commentator. He's probably a pedophile. All forms of jokes are so common because it's a common issue. It's something that happens all the time. So just to get that out of the way, to let people know about why they had that last message in there, just to say, hey.
Of why they want a safe environment.
Yes.
And shit. Yeah.
Which could be one of the reasons why EVO is now owned by Sony, just to try and, in an attempt to rebrand, so people can actually just, okay, someone connected to us did something bad, well, hey, we're under new management now, who's going to be able to handle things on an administrative level.
And hopefully probably get some better regulation.
Yes, because the thing that some people were skeptical about were the games that are going to show up at EVO, because EVO has always had an issue of having some games that people want to be there, not be there. Skullgirls being the most recent one that was going to be added on the online competition before it was obviously canceled. Despite that game being out for years, they just could not get it at EVO. And they also had issues with Dragon Ball Fighter Z, something like that.
That's the game.
Yeah, that's the name. I always think I'm saying it wrong for some reason, but that fighting game.
I think they technically call it Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
Dragon Ball Z Fighters, yeah, but
but it's fighter and then a Z thrown at the end. Yeah,
it's a fighting game title, so I don't know what to tell you. But that hasn't been there due to copyright issues. So people were like, well,
you think getting a major corporation like Sony Entertainment involved, where they're one of the biggest three gaming giants in the industry, will help with things like that?
Which is what some people were once again skeptical about, because the games that they were...
If I were to guess, we're never seeing Smash Bros. On an EVO stage ever again.
See, that's the thing. Well, definitely not here, because you can't do that online. Like, notoriously, they suck at online.
Yeah. Well, I imagine they would be working off of their own servers, but...
Now, the thing about, Smash Brothers, and something to note in all of this, I've gotten a lot of my information from a big fighting game person in the community, Sajam. A lot of games like Skullgirls and Smash Brothers are played at local places, at grassroots locations, not things like EVO. EVO has always been a big major event that tries to, it doesn't try to be niche in any capacity. It just tries to...
Oh, you gotta get the mainstream games.
You gotta get the mainstream games in there.
Which is why you have your Tekken, your Street Fighter, and your Mortal Kombat.
Guilty Gear, yeah, that's why you have all those games.
I don't know so much about Guilty Gear, but...
that's one of those games that, commercially, it's not as big, but in the fighting game community, it might as well be, because it's always been at places like EVO and stuff like that. But, it's... It right now, there's only those games that they said: Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Mortal Kombat, Tekken. So people are like, well...
Your usual suspects.
Yeah, your usual suspects. Are there going to be any more? And are they going to have them on PC? Because something like Skullgirls can't be played on console. It has to be played on PC. Technicality reasons, some of these fighting games are only available on PC, despite most of them being on PlayStation. But despite these potential fears or skepticism that's surrounding EVO, generally people are like, well, Sony doesn't have any incentive to prevent games that aren't on PlayStation from being at EVO. Because it's not like needs to be there.
I don't see why that would... I don't even see why they would limit their players
exactly
for games that are multi-gen and do have... I don't understand why they would... Like, in a tournament setting, why would they set it up a PlayStation? Wouldn't it be better to set up on the strongest machine you can craft? So they would just have high-end PCs for everybody?
That would make sense.
Unless they're trying to regulate what everybody's practicing on.
Well, that doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because you can plug in fight sticks, you can use a PlayStation
Well, yeah, everybody
controller.
would use gamepads. My point is the actual functions of the game. You know, I'm sure you can get a game. I'm sure Mortal Kombat 11 runs better on PC than it does on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're a fighting game, you know, fanatic or a fighting game nerd like that, you want those frames, you want those, you know, high response times, and you know, there's a reason they play with fucking fighting sticks and buttons and cords, and wired gamepads as opposed to wireless ones.
Which is the big issue that EVO has to face with going online, because, you know, it can already be a difficult procedure to just play any tournament online, much less EVO, when a bunch of people are going to be logging on. So
okay, I could see because we're online, we might want to keep it to just a PlayStation 5 or something,
yes,
just so that it's regulated on all sides. But even then, I feel like for EVO competitions, we want like specialty kits. Like, hey, this kit was built to play the game, and it's going to ping these independent servers so that everything hopefully will work correctly. And then I imagine we're flying people around to. I imagine this is what I would do, because if I live in Alabama or something, you know, like my internet is different than someone who lives in California, San Francisco or something, you know.
Yes, it does matter.
So I wouldn't want to be put at a disadvantage. So I'd be like, all right, we're still in this city, but everyone is in a remote, like everyone's in a hotel remote, like connection to each other. No one's seeing each other personally or something. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but so obviously it's a thing that we're gonna have to see details on later.
Oh yeah, because like the general also like take people are having as well. You know, this could be a great thing. It really can be, because now that you're having more, the administrative tasks are being handled by someone that might be more apt at doing that kind of stuff, being Sony. But they could make it bad. It could be just a complete mess. They might not have all the games people want there to be. But it's like, okay, whatever.
Know, man. The PlayStation Network is not the most optimized network out there. Like, the Xbox Live runs way better than the PlayStation Network ever has.
Yeah, people are more worried about the company itself and what they're going to do about EVO in general. Not really, like, because like, it wouldn't make sense for them to just say, all right, everything has to be a PlayStation game. You have to play on PlayStations. It just wouldn't make sense. It's a game by game basis.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, you know, until we actually see how it's executed and how they handle things, and if they're more inclusive with games, which from their message they seem like that's what they're open to. They don't want to be restrictive in what can be allowed at EVO. So it really is just a wait-and-see type situation at the end of the day.
Sure.
Because you can only have skepticism, you can only have guesses, you can only have speculation. That's all you're really left with.
Well, I'll say this acquisition as a whole surprised me.
Yes, no one saw it coming.
But it doesn't shock me. Like, if that makes it. It's not like a holy, like, it's not like a, where the fuck did this come from? It's like a, oh shit, I didn't expect this. And then you think about it, you go, oh, I guess this does kind of make sense. You know, fighting game. I mean, they mentioned in the article, fighting games are big on PlayStation.
Yeah,
I guess PlayStation. That's the article's from PlayStation, so they would toot their own horn that way.
But they are big on PlayStation.
Yeah,
because a lot of games that are played at EVO, even originally, are played on console, on PlayStation.
Yeah.
A lot of people, no one really plays on Xbox, for example. Guilty Gear Strive is the first fighting game that's coming.
It's that DualShock, baby.
It's the DualShock.
Gamers just like it.
Man. I mean, professionals play either on pad or PlayStation controllers. Those are two big things that people play on.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how it is.
You know how the fighting game community is feeling about the DualSense?
The DualSense,
which is the new PS5 controller.
I've heard nothing about it at all.
Okay.
I don't think people really care.
Might be something to look in. Well, it's quite different, Connor. We for viewers at home, I was lucky enough to acquire a PlayStation 5 this week.
See, you were just waiting for it.
I was.
By the way, guys,
I
got this.
I get a quick flex. I acquired a PlayStation 5 this week, and I've been toying around with it. We'll talk about it in the What We've Been Playing segment.
Reaching into this, I'd like to see how the controller feels, specifically the analog buttons, the directional buttons, so I can see how
we
maybe
could do that
fighting
now,
games.
or we could do that.
We'll wait till later.
Wait, what we've been playing? Yeah,
'Cause that'll lead into something I'm talking about too, possibly.
Very exciting.
Yes.
So, but until then,
Very
let's go
cool.
ahead and move into our final topic, my second penny of the day, and that is Rockstar has paid a modder $10,000 for fixing their loading times on GTA Online. I'm pulling from an article from gamesindustry.biz by James Batchelor. Rockstar pays $10,000 to modder who fixed GTA Online loading screens. Rockstar Games has paid a modder $10,000 for identifying a way to make Grand Theft Auto Online load significantly faster. The modder, who goes by the handle Tossed T0ST, recently posted their discovery of a single-thread CPU bottleneck that occurs in the PC version of the hit multiplayer mode. They created a fix they claim enables the game to load 70% faster, and included a message for Rockstar advising that the issue, quote, shouldn't take more than a day for a single dev to solve.
This guy,
the cojones.
I have to start by saying this guy, he's obviously like, he's one of those guys that has not put down GTA 5 since it came out, and he has been fuming for years. Like, I've played this game for years, guys. Why is this not loading? Fuck it. I'll do it myself.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Reports spread of Tost's discovery, and Rockstar has confirmed not only that this works, but that it will release an official fix in the future update for the game. In a statement to PC Gamer, the company said, quote, after a thorough... I can't believe this guy. This guy said, y'all, it should not have taken y'all this long to figure this out.
You guys I get you're so obsessed with these DLCs that you keep releasing and
but
all
if you
these
literally
extra content.
If you just look,
fix it.
It's just right there.
Yeah. Anybody who works for you guys is probably qualified to fix this.
In a statement to PC Gamer, the company said, quote, after a thorough investigation, we can confirm that that player, Tossed, did in fact reveal an aspect of the game code related to load times for the PC version of GTA Online that could be improved. As a result of these investigations, we have made some changes that will be implemented in a forthcoming title update. According to Tost's update to his original post, Rockstar awarded him $10,000 as part of its bug bounty program, noting that this incident was an exception since the program is usually focused on security issues. Grand Theft Auto Online is a significant source of revenue. Yada.
It makes
we don't have to
shit
talk
tons
about
of money.
GTA.
We know that.
It makes billions of dollars, so much so that it's why we don't have a GTA 6 yet, and why GTA 5 is coming out again on next-gen consoles.
It's pretty amazing that they really could just release GTA 6 whenever, but they're just waiting for their player, for people to stop playing GTA 5 to say, okay, let's just move on to GTA 6 now. We'll get people on that game next.
So, to anybody who doesn't know or doesn't play, GTA Online, or GTA 5 in general, has horrendous loading times. Usually it's only on the startup screen, and then once you're in the game, you're in the game. But with GTA Online, it gets a little tougher. You load in, and then you're in the open world. Great. What if you want to play a deathmatch? Well, now there's a loading for that too.
Yeah.
And, those are long as well. So you're getting upwards of 6-minute plus loading times, where you're just sitting there staring at a screen, and you're like, "Fucking Christ, can I play the game already?" So 70% is a big, dramatic improvement.
It's been one of their biggest quality of life issues that they've had, and now they just
since launch
fixed it. Yeah,
and I'm sure it's only gotten worse as all these updates have come out and the amount of content that they've added to
more
the game.
stuff to load. Yeah, and just fixed by Tossed.
I love that. He's like, guys, it should have taken that's a fix one dev can figure out in 1 day's work. What is going on here?
I guess when you're making so much stuff for GTA, that's the last thing you even consider. We should probably try and work for load
but I mean, come on, man. Let's put some quality of life into the game. But this is Rockstar. They've been outdated for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They haven't had a game that plays well since GTA San Andreas.
GTA 5. I remember just that and 4 and Red Dead even to a degree.
I don't think any of their major games since Red Dead Redemption 1 have played well.
No,
Well, like, I don't even think Red Dead Redemption 1 plays well either. But, like, yeah, those games, like, the control schemes are terrible. The shooting never feels good. So it's, I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully they'll get with the times, but, probably not. Still great games. They just don't play phenomenally. Anyways, I thought that was a fun little story to throw in there.
Pretty funny.
This man got 10 G's for a day of work.
Good for him.
Good for him, bro. He's stacked up.
You need all that money you need in a pandemic.
I'm saying he doesn't have to work again during this pandemic. No. Well, yeah, that's dramatic, but he can go get himself a house or something. Anyways, Connor, that is it for news this week. So let's go ahead and jump into what we've been playing.
Well, I guess I'll start.
Sure.
Actually, you start.
Oh, I'll be talking for a while.
I'll start.
Yeah.
So, I haven't really played anything new.
Surprise.
Well,
you play something new?
I have.
Okay.
But not... No, I have played something new. What am I talking about?
I don't know what you've played, Connor, so I don't know.
I kind of have to... Actually...
Get to the point, my G.
I'm trying to think of... Did I talk about this other thing last week? I guess I did. Anyway, I started playing another fighting game. One that's very, very loved by one of my friends called Melty Blood, Actress Again, Current Code. Yes,
I don't think we've talked about this.
No,
this is not the first time.
No, definitely not talking about this.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of something else, which I'm not going to touch on right now. But I've gotten my hands on it. Mm-hmm. It's difficult as shit because it's already hard enough to play a fighting game, especially someone who's new at it. And maybe I'm getting over my head with playing more and more fighting games. Maybe I need to tone it down a little bit. But with this game, it's already pretty difficult to actually play because a lot of people who've been playing it for years just are so good at this game. If you watch gameplay between two, players, usually the way it goes down is for 30 seconds. Someone's just wailing on the other person. It's constantly like relentless attacking that you can't get away from. That's at least the gameplay that I've seen being played. So it's a very fast-paced game. Characters hit really hard. Okay. But the really difficult thing about it is this thing called the moon system. So there's a cast of around 31 characters, and the core aspect of this game that's different, that separates itself from other fighting games, is each character has crescent moon style, half moon style, and full moon style, which changes up meters. The meter being a bar that you use to execute certain moves and it's special moves and supers and things like that.
Yeah,
so
pretty common.
It changes that up, such as the sometimes if you reach a certain level of meter, it'll start going down, and you could do heavier, more damaging attacks that also waste meter while it's already going down. There's a health regain system that can be achieved more easily with another aspect to the meter system. And characters have certain access to different moves depending on the moon. So technically, you have around 93 characters that play differently.
Fuck.
Yes, technically.
Oh, you're multiplying everything by 3. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So it's
Mortal Kombat X did something similar to the. Well, I guess. Well, do you pick your stance? You can transition through your stances mid-fight, I assume.
No.
Oh, you pick your stance when you pick your character.
There's no way you can change in the middle of the game because things for example, a big factor of this game also is that whereas in most games you usually have A, B, C, or D. A being a light attack, B kick, heavy attack, or a slash attack. But in this game, you only have 3 attack buttons, A, B, and C, and D, which is used to shield things. And shields being a move where you just your character holds out their hand or their finger or whatever and can block attacks, and then if they successfully block attack at a certain point in time, called an EX guard, they can then, do moves off of that because they can do some kind of, move to push their opponents off of them and then go into their own combos.
They counter and use that to build off of a combo. Okay.
And some moons don't allow you to do that. So effectively, it's a game that is very, very unique as far as fighting games go and is a pain in the ass to learn because you got to find your character.
Some of that actually sounds pretty cool.
It is cool. Yeah. It very much is cool. And I'm
because usually blocking or deflecting in most fighting games is kind of what turns me off.
Really,
to a lot of it because it's usually back on the stick or down or something. And
it still is. Like, you still have to do that
okay.
kind of stuff. It's a fighting game at its core with extra features in it.
We got some more stuff going on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what makes it so much difficult, because it's not. It's unique in the sense they just add things rather than take away things.
Can I just say, in the last however long it's been, a year or whatever, that you starting your interest into fighting games has been very fascinating to watch.
Because it's something I would never thought I would do.
No.
Especially to the rate I am. Like I said, I'm going a little bit too fast. I started with another fighting game a while back called King of Fighters. I'm going to put that off to the side.
Yeah, it didn't really grab your
I like it.
attention.
It's just hard. It's just very hard, and I'm already trying to
You feel like
get
this is
into
going to
things.
happen here, too, with whatever this game is that you're talking to me about? What is the name of this game again?
Melty Blood. Just call it Melty Blood.
Melty Blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's based off of a visual novel, a very popular one back in the early 2000s.
Okay.
But not even going to get into that because I don't even know the story on that whole thing. But
It's not worth time.
No, it's not. But the game itself plays so fun because, like I love just like attacking opponents relentlessly for as long as I can, and they're just having to struggle to get out of it. You know, it's a two-way street because that's going to probably actually happen to me more than I'm going to do it to other people.
Sure.
But getting to the point where you can just beat your opponent is so satisfying. You know, I've in the past couple months I've watched videos on fighting games, and not technical videos, but just videos talking about how amazing it feels not only to play fighting games and to make comebacks and to do cool ass moves, but to also watch it happen as well, which is one of my reasons for choosing the Evo story, because Evo has always been fighting game tournaments in general have always been a cool thing. So my entire journey of learning how to play fighting games is still very much going on. I'm not an expert even slightly on any level when it comes to fighting games.
Okay.
But I'm just loving how they all play.
Fantastic.
But that's the only new game I've been playing. I played a little bit, actually a lot, of trying to beat my Golden Deer run of Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Fantastic.
That's going well. That's going very well.
Yeah, where are you?
I just beat the bridge.
The bridge.
The big bridge battle.
The big bridge battle.
There's only one bridge in this game, Tavin.
Okay. Yes. Okay, this is that first big battle post time skip, yeah?
No, there's been a couple. There's been a couple big battles. There's one
Shit.
at that fire level. That already happened.
Fire level? Okay. Yeah, okay. But no, this is like a big plot moment, isn't it, that bridge battle?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the first big battle of the war, isn't it?
Like, the next battle is going to be the Battle of the Eagle and Lion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the yeah. I know where you are. Yeah. There's still so many hours between that and the end, though.
Because the last route that I did was the Black Eagles route, which is
such a short
the
route.
shortest one. I forgot how long this is.
Oh,
I forgot.
yeah, Black Eagles. It's literally like you do the battle of the
Eagle and Lion.
Eagle and Lion, and then
There's two more after that. Right?
and then you're pretty much you're almost there. Like you could probably knock it out in a day. Blue Lions is a little longer. Golden Deer is the longest
Yeah.
by far.
So I'm still going on that journey. I'll be playing that more. But
Because Connor, there's a whole plot line you are not even on yet.
I know there's stuff that I haven't experienced yet.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, and one of the things I've been doing, you're going to hate me for this, is I've been picking out which characters, I'm compiling my list of my maddening run, which I am going to do.
Oh, you're building your team already.
I am building my team. I have put together a team. And
your maddening run, you're going to go to the church route?
Yes, because
Okay.
that's, I can get, yeah.
Easy enough.
Yeah. Even though it's the same thing as the Golden Deer route.
Now, this route, you played the DLC, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I have those characters there.
Fantastic. So you've discovered all the things in the caves that you can boost your status rank with your teammates and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can pay the renown points and get all that. Okay, great.
Yeah. I'm aware of that right now.
Yeah, you're gonna want that in New Game Plus and all the little bonuses that you can get in maddening, because maddening is maddening.
This is what you're probably going to hate me about, though. I don't think I'm going to do classic.
Well, then what's the fucking point, Connor?
It's incredibly tough.
It's not gonna be that tough, though.
Because I can just throw my enemies at them.
What's the point, Connor?
I think there's a point. I think when
The point of doing maddening if you're not gonna get your ass pushed in.
Well, I'm going to get my ass pushed in regardless. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Like, I'm going to see a lot of...
You will never lose Byleth, ever.
You can't lose Byleth.
No, I guess the game still ends if Byleth dies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. No, I will not lose Byleth. But, I'll let you know how that goes. I'll beat Golden Deer as quick as I can.
Golden Deer, great route.
It's a great route so far.
Great route. I love those characters. Except for Leone.
Really? I thought you said Leone got better.
Oh, no, Leone's the worst character in the game, dude. She doesn't do anything. She sucks.
She's got better.
She's terrible.
She's a good unit, though.
Oh yeah, she kicks that. Well, no,
Not the best unit. Don't
what
get
do
me
you have
wrong.
her equipped with? You have her equipped with like an axe or something?
No, it's a spear.
Yeah, I had her equipped with a spear too, and she got killed a lot for me. Not one of my favorites. Hilda though, Hilda's a badass.
Ridiculous. Like, Claude is definitely the worst house leader. Like, definitely.
Oh,
No.
how dare you.
In gameplay wise.
No, how dare you?
Oh, worst. He's the worst.
Oh, he was amazing.
Dude, I'm getting into fights with him and other character and like random enemies, and it's like, okay, you're gonna dodge this. You're going to dodge this. You're on a wyvern.
Especially
you
when he
do
gets his
high
when
amounts
he
of
gets his
damage.
wyvern, his dragon.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, he got hit for 26 right there. Okay, well, okay.
Well, don't put him near archers.
I don't. He's like, oh, he's going up against the axe guy who should miss him. He's like, oh no, he didn't miss him. He got hit and he's 26 damage
Oh,
down.
I did not have this issue at
Yeah,
all.
and then I'm like, okay, well, pull back Claude. Hilda, go in there. Same class, worse class actually, technically. Well,
Hilda's a beast,
same class.
dude. Hilda's
and
a
then
beast.
it's like axe people, bows. It's just like miss,
yeah.
one hit, and it's like
Hilda's critical rate is ridiculous.
it's ridiculous.
She
Like
gets
oh,
a
God.
critical like 4 out of 5 attacks.
Yeah, her, Lysithia, and Yuri are just like
Oh, dude, see, like Scythia got her ass beat for me.
Lysithia.
Yes,
Dude, it's literally just like, oh, she's going up against this guy. He one hit her. She one hit the guy. Of course, expected.
No, but Lysithia for me died in one hit every time.
Really,
Every time. I don't know if I just never got her defense up properly or something, or
that's
if I
the
put
hard,
I put her on the wrong path or something. But like every time she got hit, she died.
she has low health.
Yeah.
And she still does that. But
Yes.
it doesn't matter when she's with anybody else because they just, she takes out the strongest opponent that's there and then everyone else gets cleaned up by my teammates. That's my tactic with her.
Oh, okay.
You kind of got to like surround her and other magic users to
Okay,
be
see,
as
I'm
effective as
a
possible.
divide and conquer type Fire Emblem player.
Usually I am too, but with mages, I have to like say, okay, help her not get killed.
I guess me saying divide and conquer is the wrong impression. I break my team up and like flank and counter flank, and I've got people coming from all different kinds of angles, and so yeah, which probably is a riskier way to play it. The best way is probably to just have everybody together.
Oh, it totally is. It totally is.
But I like splitting them up, and I feel really smart when it pays off. So,
Fun game.
Fun game. Anything else you've been playing this week, Connor? We are an audio podcast, so the silence is just gonna make them look at their phone and think something's fucked up. So.
Oh, you're right. No, not at all.
No, okay, great. I mean, I appreciate the visual humor. I'm just telling you, we're doing a show here.
Oh, no visual. There's no visuals.
There's no visuals.
Where's the video cam?
No, we don't have any. So this week, last week, I told y'all that we had started Gears of War on Hype Tuesdays 1 p.m. Twitch.tv/2pennygames. We finished that this week. After the Hype will be directly after this episode, or you can catch the breakout on YouTube Tuesday at 8 a.m. In which Phil will be coming in. We'll be talking about giving our reviews of Gears of War. And just to satisfy you, Connor, just so that you know how it went, it's a fun game. It's fine.
Yeah, it's the weakest entry from what I heard out of the original 3 games.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
And it's from probably my least favorite era of gaming, where it's just a bunch of bro dude culture type shit, like big dudes with guns and everything is brown and gray, and I'm just kind of like, alright, cool, whatever. But as far as like just straight mechanics, it's a competent shooter. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at it. It's fine. But we'll get into some more of that in after the Hype. I had told you last week that I was going to continue my journey into Star Wars: The Old Republic. That got hijacked by my acquisition of a PlayStation 5.
Which was surprising to you, because you never expected to get
I didn't expect to get one, and I got one, the PS Direct. They changed one rule where it was like, instead of like one per customer, it was one per household, and I think that helped me.
Okay.
Because I think that eliminated bots and people who were using like 6 different computers on one Wi-Fi network. It was just me on my phone on my data.
Okay.
So I managed to get in, and I got one. And, yeah, PlayStation 5 has been out for a long time now, 6 months-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's anything, well, I guess 5 months really. I don't know if there's anything I can say that other people haven't already said. I'll say, top level, I find the UI, a little more confusing, than the PlayStation 4 one. There's a lot of like like different tricks you can do in it, and it's not all the way clear as to what you're 100% doing right away. I mean, I watched the UI breakdown when that video came out in the lead up to the release, and I haven't seen a PlayStation 5 UI since, and that was what, October, November, whenever that video came out.
I saw the same thing too, and I was like, I'm not going to get anything from this until I actually am browsing through the UI myself.
Well, now I'm browsing through the UI, and I'm like, maybe I should go back and watch that video because I'm getting a little lost in some of these pages sometimes. Like, it's like a single tap of the PlayStation Home button doesn't bring you to the home screen. It pulls up like those card things. You remember the cards?
Yeah.
And it's the cards and then like a little quick menu at the bottom to where you can get that. And that's the only way to reach like the power button is by tapping it and pulling up that quick menu. You can't do it from the main screen, which is very confusing to me. I will say it's a much cleaner screen. There's a lot less happening on it. They minimize the game icons. And when you hover over a game, that game, like an image of that game, takes up the whole screen.
Oh.
And I do kind of like that. It feels like the game is inviting me into its world. So I'm enjoying that. PlayStation always been very good about creating sort of a zen, relaxing environment when you first boot it up, and that's here too. And then there's just some, like, navigating the menus, there's just some things where it's just, like, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just, they changed a few aesthetics to it.
Right.
And then the new store is weird. I haven't figured out the new store entirely just yet. But it seems like a lot more, like, algorithm-based, where, like, it seems to be, like, suggesting things to you more instead of, like, being able to, like, browse things. Maybe I just haven't played enough with it, because I've only had it for a few days now.
Yeah.
So I just need to, play more. But other than that, I've been playing several games on it, and I've purchased several games. Ooh, my wallet took a big hit this week. Let me tell you what. So I'm trying to work through that backlog of launch. I've installed Demon's Souls. I'm playing around with the PlayStation Plus collection. Like I've installed like Days Gone and stuff. So I'll get to those eventually. Right now I've spent all of my time with the Astrobots Playroom, which is the pack-in game, quote-unquote, that's already installed on the console. It's just a tech demo to kind of play around with all the things and to celebrate PlayStation as a whole. So you're running around in that. Astrobot is a fine platformer. It's fine. I'm enjoying it for what it is. I'm enjoying all the little references and stuff. Like, there'll be like a little Astrobot guy wearing Ratchet ears from Ratchet and Clank, and and if you run up and punch him, he drops a bunch of bolts and a wrench. But it's like an Allen wrench. It's not like Ratchet's wrench. It's just an Allen wrench, which I found kind of cute and fun.
Very cool.
That was sarcasm.
Yeah.
I felt it. I didn't appreciate it.
That was I think this is the one time, this entire segment actually, where I've thought to myself, wow, that seems like you wasted your time.
I only played like an hour or two of it or whatever. It's not very hard or whatever, and it's just kind of neat. I don't like all of the dependencies on like the 6-axis type movement stuff. It's not called 6-axis anymore, like the motion control, whatever movie thing. Yeah, the 6-axis shit. I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of video games. Why is it still here? I cannot believe it made it into this generation.
Well,
it's still here.
Without that, I wouldn't be able to make my little Fire Emblem Byleth character run along the loading screen if it wasn't for that feature on controllers.
Can't you do that with the... Oh, no, you can't. I thought you could do it with, like, the stick or the
No,
D-pad
you actually have to tilt it.
So, yeah, Astrobots Playroom. It's fine. It's a tech demo. I'll probably, finish it. Maybe even platinum it, because I hear it's a really easy platinum. Why not? And then I jumped into some Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks.
I didn't get too far into that, maybe like 30 minutes. It's a cute little game or whatever. I'm just not in the mood for that right now. I wanted something... I guess a little more relaxing that I didn't have to think so much because it's mostly a puzzle game. And I just didn't feel like getting into like all of that. So instead, what I jumped into and I've spent the most time with and I'm most impressed by is the Pathless. Mm-hmm. The Pathless is clearly a game inspired by the likes of Shadow of the Colossus and Zelda Breath of the Wild. And is a game where you are just told, hey, just go explore, go find some towers and cleanse them or whatever, and like solve like these little puzzles or whatever to get tokens that you can use to cleanse the towers, and just explore the world. And while you're exploring, you're an archer. You're like some I don't know what culture it is, some like Eastern culture archer, and you're running around and you've got a stamina gauge, and that gauge fills by shooting floating targets that are in the air. These targets are all over the place.
Yeah.
And you're not even aiming at them. You're just holding the trigger and timing it, and it's all just based on timing, and that feeds into the momentum of you running around and sprinting and stuff. And you get a little movement boost every time you hit one. And just the act of just traversing the world is so fun. Mm-hmm. It's so much fun.
Is it similar to Journey, where it's very peaceful and you're not just kind of gliding around looking at the scenery?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's Journey, it's Shadow, it's Breath of the Wild.
Okay,
it's some combination of all three of those there, with a focus on archery. And then like while I'm and I've got like this like little bird friend, and the bird friend is helping me fly over cavern or like trenches and stuff, and it's just fun, and it's really like I'm zenned out, I'm relaxed, I'm solving really basic and easy puzzles that pretty much all have the same solution.
But then you fight monsters, and
there are monsters. I'm starting to get into that. And it's tricky because you have to. From my understanding, you have to cleanse an area before you can fight this monster.
Oh.
But that monster will hunt you periodically while you're in the midst of cleansing the air. So right now it's that bull thing that they showed off in whatever State of Play or whatever that they presented this game in.
The first one you encountered.
And basically what happens is like this like wave of energy comes in and disables my bird. So I can't use the bird. And then like it's like, oh, the bird like flies away and falls. And it's like, okay, go get to the bird. And then, like, the monster is hunting me, and I have to, like, sneak through the grass, and it's got, like, this big spotlight view that, like, to show where its, like, cone of vision is, and the game just tells you, hey, just don't move when you're in that view, and you're fine. I have failed every one of these instances. I have not gotten to my bird once. Because it's not... It's just, there's like, a proximity that you can't get to around the beast. So if you get too close to the beast, it triggers a thing and then you lose. And then they've got this really neat mechanic where the bird is infected by the darkness or whatever, and you've got to like take care of it by like just petting it. You kind of brush off the darkness off of it. It's just a nice little thing so that like I'm connecting with this bird. So yeah, I fucking adore this game. Just to feel the momentum in it and to just be in the zone and just be hitting target after target after target and flying over different landscapes and areas is so satisfying all the time. I've even like discovered quickly that like I haven't figured out the timing for this. The way you shoot the target is just by holding R2 and then releasing it to charge the bow and then let the arrow fly.
You don't aim it then?
No, you don't aim it.
Okay.
It auto aims for you. And you've basically got to like get a full charge and you'll hit the target. But if you can time it right and get a half charge, it's like a bonus like thing, and you get more momentum and you get more stamina back, and it's like, and you can shoot them quicker. And they're all like spaced enough to where like if you have the timing right, you could get this little half charge popping off all the time, and you'll never run out of stamina. You'll never like it, and it's you get a little speed boost every time you hit a target. If you fully charge it, that speed boost ends. But if you get the halfway thing, you're just bouncing from one speed boost into another perfectly, and it feels really, really good to play. I adore this game. I love the art style. I love like all the weird like lore stuff that I'm experiencing in it, with like some weird like old tales of old gods and like this god bird and this godless this god slayer that I'm tasked with defeating now and stuff. It's a really, really, really fun game. I'm adoring it, and I don't understand why people aren't talking about it more.
Well, I was telling you, but I mentioned it before we started. It looked cool when I saw it at the State of Play, and then the PS5 came out. No one really talked about it before. So is there there's a story then? It's not.
It's story in like how the games it inspired have stories.
Yeah,
like,
right.
When did this game came out?
It was a release date game, wasn't it?
I don't think it was a launch game.
Launch game.
No, it came out. Oh, I guess it did come out 2020. When did it come out? Find that for me. Yeah. So like, it so clearly pulls its inspirations from games like Journey and games like Shadow and games like Breath of the Wild. But it executes on everything so perfectly for me so far that I've just got an itch to just play it until I beat it, and then even then I feel like I still want to explore the world and traverse it. Like, traversal has only felt this good in a handful of games. Spider-Man, Marvel's Spider-Man is one of them. I'm struggling to even think of another one. Like, it's
just
that
unique. It's good in that way.
It feels so good to just run around this world, and I can't get enough of it.
And it was a launch game. It was a launch game.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I can't put it on my top 10 list this year then. Fuck.
Nope. No, you cannot.
So anyways, yeah, and then from here I'll be continuing pathless, and I'll be jumping into things like Demon Souls and so forth, and catching up on some of that backlog and playing more Bug Snacks eventually.
Now, the PS5, is it quiet when it plays?
So far,
yeah,
I haven't had any issues. So
just, years of experience playing the PS4 and it just going, making like jet noises.
The launch PS4, yes, yeah. My PS4 Pro never had an issue.
Oh yeah. Launch PS4, but so that PS5 is running smooth. So far everything's running great. I'm enjoying it well enough. I like the to double back to the UI, when like trophy pops or notifications happen. I like it a lot more in this in how they have it now than how they had it on the PS4. Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't have as much of a ring to it. It's got a black color to it, so it's not that white like thing just like right in your face. And it everything about the PS5 was designed to keep you in the world of the game, which I really, really, really enjoy. So, like, there was as little distractions as possible to pull you out. So I'm in the game at all times, and it feels very good. Like, it feels like I'm in the world. It's very zen in that way. Like, I think this is like the most zen PlayStation console yet. I want to talk about the controller for a little bit. It's a controller. I've actually got it in my bed right there if you want to reach over and grab it. So I've been playing with this all week. My initial reaction was, okay, this is fine. And then as I played with it more, I found some things that I do and don't like with it. So this is in no way, I think, going to be one of my favorite controllers of all time. That may change with time. This one I put so far about even with the DualShock 4. It's got pros and cons. It's a very different controller from the DualShock 4. It took that more, I'm going to say, more traditional shape with controllers like the Switch Pro controller and the Xbox controller. But they kept the sticks set on the same plane where the others don't.
Definitely lower.
Yeah, the two sticks are low. The touchpad, I think, is actually bigger. But I think that's because the controller as a whole is bigger.
That could be it. It seems to take up less space.
Yeah, so you're holding it for the first time right now.
Yes, I am. Directional buttons are good, but I could do fighting games with this.
Yeah, I think the directional buttons are good. I don't love the face buttons and how those feel. They feel a little too flat. I would like a little more bubble.
I would agree. My big issue is it seems like to take my thumb, off the right direction, the right analog stick, to press triangle, square, X, circle.
You got to go a little bit.
You got to go a little bit. It's like there's travel.
Yeah.
It seemed like the analog sticks on the PS4 were more adequately placed to allow for easier access.
Now, I'll say I've always had that issue with PlayStation controllers. I feel like it always takes forever for my thumb to get to the face buttons. I've noticed it the least on this controller.
Okay.
So, there's that. I don't love the triggers or the bumpers.
The bumpers are the big issue. They're too far apart.
Really? Yeah. Too far apart.
It seems like I'm once again, like with the PS4.
Oh, you're saying the bumpers are too far from the triggers.
Yeah.
I agree with you, and that's what leads to my options. I also don't love how the triggers feel. But, Connor, this is where when this is like, I pulled it out the box and I played with it like in my hands like you're doing now. And I was like, I don't love these triggers. But then I played a game, Connor, and I forgot the triggers are adaptive triggers this time around. So, they apply resistance depending on what you're doing in the game. So, for instance, if you're drawing on a bow, as you pull on the trigger, resistance builds as if it would as you're pulling on a bow. If you shoot a gun, you feel like a quick resistance, like as if you were pulling a trigger.
I remember hearing about that. When you actually play games with it, it feels very different.
Dude, it is game changing.
Mm-hmm.
How, like, I am shocked at how impressive it is. It feels so good on games that use it.
Mute button, that's very nice.
See, and that's my issue is the controller has a mic in the controller itself. There's a microphone in the controller itself. So everybody has a microphone if they have a DualSense.
Yeah.
Obviously that's going to be a problem once you go online. And then it's just a quick button to just mute yourself, which is nice. But if you hold that button, it mutes the game audio.
Really?
Yeah, it was very weird. I came upon it by accident. I said, "Where did my audio go?" And I was checking my settings and I was refreshing and resetting everything. And then I was like, I just happened to just press the mute button by accident again, and then it came back. And I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, that was the issue?
So not holding it down, just pressing it twice.
No, if you hold it down, it mutes the game audio.
Oh, okay. It seems like that wouldn't be a real issue, but it probably had like a moment of like, what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
And I immediately dug into my settings instead of assuming that it was the mute button on the controller. Mm-hmm. I don't love the PlayStation home button.
What is this one?
No, the home button. The PlayStation
That's
symbol.
a button?
Yes.
Oh my...
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that, yeah.
You give it a full button. It's just the cutout of the PlayStation symbol. You just turned on the PlayStation. Which should turn on my TV here in a moment. Anyways, so...
I like the start buttons. Those are nice. The PS4 start buttons and select buttons were always like... They seemed that I could never really always tell that I was pressing them.
You see, and here's another thing. You mentioned the stick to the button distance. Yeah. I feel like the button to the start button distance is too far.
See, with start button, it never seems to be an issue because the face buttons
also these buttons are so big or so small.
These buttons
are so small. I want them like 50% bigger,
right? So
that I can reach them easier, and I can I feel like once or twice I've been like, where the fuck is the pause button? Oh, there it is. Because of course I'm not looking at the controller.
Yeah.
But anyways, form factor I think is mostly good. The grip feels nice.
The grip does feel nice.
I do like that as a smaller aesthetic. R1, R2, they're very small and just kind of put off into the corner of the bumpers and the triggers. I don't know why I like that. It looks clean to me, and I enjoy that instead of like a big R2 like they've had in the past.
Yeah.
Or I don't think the PS4 control. I don't have one. I don't have a DualShock 4 in this room. I forgot where I was going with that. Anyways, I'll also say the vibration motors on this controller are fantastic.
Yeah.
They might be some of the best they've ever been. So here, I'm gonna go ahead and load into. What's a good example of this? What's a quick and good example I can load into? Does it do it for Pathless? I don't think it does.
That one looks very nice.
Yeah. So here, hold on. Oops, wrong button.
You killed yourself.
I don't think I did. There we go.
So you muted it?
Yeah, I just muted it with the... So that's actually not good here. Okay, so this game doesn't do it. Let's go to Bug Snacks real quick. I'm loading up Bug Snacks so that you can kind of get an idea of what the adaptive trigger feels like. Because there's a quick... much like Pokemon Snap, you're like taking pictures of different Bug Snacks and to get info on them and stuff. And they have the adaptive triggers when you pull your camera up. And it's very... There's also a level in Astrobot where you have like a minigun.
Oh, really?
And how do I do it? There it is. Okay. So here, I'm going to pull you up to the main menu.
So I can press it.
Yeah, and then just pull the right trigger with no resistance at all. You feel like just pull it real quick. So like you feel that, right? It's just your normal trigger, whatever. Now load into the game, and pull the camera button.
What the?
You feel it?
What the fuck is that?
It's just a little resistance. That's you pressing the button for the camera.
Am I taking photos for it?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, see R2 scan right there. Oh, nice, you found it automatically. Yeah, R2 scan, and then yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and you just feel that little like click, click.
Like it's trying to act like a camera.
Yeah, it's trying to act like pulling the trigger of a camera and stuff. It does the same thing with guns, and I haven't played a game with a bow and arrow that uses the adaptive trigger function yet.
This is weird.
It's weird, but I really like it, dude. Like I can't wait to play like a shooter with it, like an actual shooter with it. I'm so excited for Horizon. specifically for this function, it's going to feel amazing.
You should just play Last of Us for a second. Pull that up and just shoot with that.
Well, Last of Us 2 doesn't have a PS5 update yet.
You're right. It's just it looks better. That's it.
I think it's just loading times. Maybe there's some upresing or something, but I think it's just loading times are depleted. I haven't really jumped into anything else yet. I should jump into like Miles Morales. I wonder here. Give me that.
That was made for PS5.
Yeah, that was made for PS5. Let me see if they use the adaptive triggers in Miles Morales. See, my problem is I haven't brought any of my saves over.
God, you pre-ordered Deathloop?
Yes, sir, I did.
How many fucking games did you pre-order?
I don't want to talk about it, Connor. I spent a lot of money this week, okay? Final Fantasy 15 is in the PlayStation Collection, along with Mortal Kombat X,
it's
4.
It's a fun game. It's a solid game.
15?
Especially with all the updates. Yeah. The game, if you end up playing that, it'll be different than when I played it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I want to jump. I need to find some time and jump back into Assassin's Creed Valhalla because I remember the loading times in that game being atrocious. So I'm excited to see how they feel in that. I've even thought about reinstalling Avengers because Avengers just got its PS5 update this week.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure.
So, I'm curious, real quick. That PlayStation package, what would you call it?
The PlayStation Plus collection.
What is that free, or is it just if you have PlayStation Plus?
It comes if you have PlayStation Plus. So here, I'll even
so
go.
It just gives you free games permanently, or as long as you have. PlayStation
I think as
Plus?
long as I have PlayStation Plus. So here, let me see if I can find it in the store real quick. I mean, it's really just you find it and you pull up a menu and it says here, what games do you want? And it tells you what games you own already. And it's literally just like a list, add to library.
That's
like,
good.
Add to library, download. Yeah, it's all the same stuff, and it's fantastic. So I need to play. I'll play with this later. We're doing a show right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far I'm enjoying the PlayStation 5 quite a bit. I haven't had enough time to play with it as much as I want. And I'm excited to continue to experiment and see all the neat little features that come in. So
hopefully
far.
I'll be getting one myself.
Connor, what are your raw impressions of this controller?
It feels nice when I initially hold it.
Yeah.
I
love the analog sticks.
I like how they feel,
yeah.
But I feel like like we were talking about kind of before, the layout of the buttons will take getting used to.
Sure.
Especially with, can I actually have that again?
Yeah.
I was checking the directional inputs for like Guilty Gear, but let me check.
You see how the D-pad is so tightly knit? I wish the face buttons were a little tighter together. Like that space in the middle, I guess for your thumb to rest. I don't like that.
You see,
and I just wish they had a little more bubble, just a touch more bubble to them. PlayStation controllers always have flat face buttons, and I wish they didn't.
But if you're just using the analog sticks, I'm thinking as a fighting gamer now.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, I'm sure once I get into a platforming game,
a
2D platformer, then I'm gonna have to actually feel about the D-pad.
Yeah. Well, something that's nice about it is they're on the same level, like the analog sticks are. So when you're just using these, it feels
right.
It better than an analog stick to play. Not with every game. Obviously, some games I would never just use this over the analog stick. It's not possible, but I like it. I like it overall. I'll see if I like it more than the PS4 controller, because I really like that controller.
It feels about even for me right now, because there are some form factor issues I have with the DualSense here. USB-C to charge, which I appreciate as a Google Pixel owner.
So it's not the original micro USB?
No, it's USB-C. So the same thing that your Switch shit uses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then 3.5 millimeter audio for headphones and so forth. So, yeah, I've got nothing really like crazy to say. I need to fuck around with the create function. I've hit it a few times by accident, searching for select.
No longer
which
share?
is weird because it's always been the touchpad on controller on PS4, but for some reason I keep hitting.
So how do you do that PlayStation Share stuff? Is that still here?
It's called create now.
So it's just the same. It's that.
It's that, but it's just create now. So if we jump back in and here and I press it, it pulls up this thing where you take a screenshot, start recording,
that's better.
Save recent gameplay, stuff like this. And I'm sure, there's like capture options in here, so I can come in here and mess with different settings and so forth.
You don't like this, or you're iffy on it still?
I'm iffy on it. I need to play with it more.
It looks better from
I need
the
to play
outset
with it more.
than share button.
I just want I want this menu to pop up if I hold it.
But you just press it.
And I just press it.
I mean,
and then it asks what I want to do.
The share button always just pressed it too, so that's what I'm kind of used to.
Yeah, but you can switch it on PS4, and I'm sure you can do it here to where you can just press it. Anyways,
don't want to start playing a whole game while we're only audio. So
yeah, So yeah, I'm into it.
Play more games, and then you'll be able to know how.
So far,
well it feels.
solid console. Big as fuck.
Yeah,
Like
big.
the console itself is huge.
Like that big bulge at one end of it seems like it was like, okay, we need more space to put things in, but we don't want to make the whole thing bigger.
Also, both ways you stand it, you need the stand. It comes on a stand.
That's strange.
It's very strange, and I don't love it. So
Can you place your Switch on top of that? Or is it uneven?
oh, it's uneven.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh, that
Wait,
sucks.
yeah, that's another issue that I have with it is that it's uneven.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, it was designed to be vertical.
Yeah.
But the problem is that no entertainment system in the world is built to have something like that stand up on it. I wanted to have it stand up, but it gets in the way of my. I wanted it on top of my entertainment system, but it gets in the way of the TV because it's so tall.
But you could do it to the left-hand side of your screen.
I could, but then it messes with the feng shui of my whole system.
Yeah, see, I would not care about that, so I could probably make it work in that way.
Oh, yours is going to be fine because yours is going
Mine's the wall.
When you eventually get one, you're just going to sit it right there, and then your TV is higher up than mine is from because I have a taller entertainment system and a bigger TV, so the two are closer together than where your system is from the TV.
Stability issues might come up though. Be like, oh, it tips over.
That's where the stand comes in, Connor.
But like the stand can fail after years. Like I'm thinking down the line.
It is
like,
just a disc. The stand is just a disc. Like if you lean over, you can see. Like you can look over and see it.
It's too dark underneath there. And I'm
Is
not
it really the light?
stand
There
up.
should be enough light there.
No, it's like pitch black in there. I'm like, I can't see anything.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, that's about all I've got to say about the PlayStation 5.
A lot to say.
A lot to say. And I'm sure I'll have more to say as we go on. But right now, feeling pretty positive about it. I think it's going to be a good generation, Connor.
You know, Demon's Souls apparently plays very well with the controller. That was a good example for how well it can play. So tell me how it goes.
Well, if you got time, do you want to stick around and watch me fail the first few levels at it?
No,
or?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I want to, but I don't.
You busy today?
I'm going to do that my own. I haven't played Demon's Souls, so it's going to be a new world
surely you've
for
seen
me.
the opening level or something.
No.
Well, do you want to play it?
No, I can't do that.
No?
I can't do that.
You want the
I'll be
experience
like,
yourself?
I'm like, taste 5 minutes of this game I really want to play, 20 minutes, and like, okay, I'll do that again later, months later.
I also have to go through and I have to get all my saves off of the PS4 and put it on the PS5 and stuff.
How do you do that? Do you just...
There's a way. I didn't play with it. I was too excited. I was like,
I wanna
I'm
play
excited.
PS5.
Let me get to these new games. New games. So yeah. I think that's going to be it for the Two Penny Gamescast this week, Connor. Mm-hmm. Remember, you can catch us every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. Just look up Two Penny Gamescast. We pop up. We're there. You can also catch us live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Twitch.tv/2pennygames, where we film Hype. But as a have you ever played? But as a reminder, we're not doing Hype this week because I've got some family stuff to go to. So, but Phil will be live at some point during the day and keep up that consistency.
Give you those thoughts.
Give you that entertainment. And then Connor, we're about to bring Phil in for after the Hype for Gears of War. Probably going to be a shorter after the Hype than the other ones, I imagine.
Not much to talk about.
I don't think there's much to talk about in this game, but we'll find out. I thought Metal Gear Solid 1 was going to be a short talk, and it was like almost an hour. So, that's that. But until then, everybody, have a great week. And Connor, say bye to the people.
Goodbye.
And say hello to the people, Phil.
Hey!
And welcome back to After the Hype.
After the Hype.
The Hype. Hype, have you ever played? A series you and I do on twitch.tv/2pennygames.
Every Tuesday.
At
1 p.m.
Central Time.
Central.
Where one of us shows the other one a video game that the one has played and the other has not. This week, this time around, Phil, we're going to be talking about Gears of War.
Indeed.
Because
you had never played Gears of War before.
I have never played Gears of War until recently. You and I sat down and we played it co-op.
Banged it out.
And just banged it out real quick. Real short game.
It's pretty short.
Real short game. So we are here after the Hype as a little breakout segment that you can find at youtube.com/2pennygamescast Tuesdays at 8 a.m. whenever we finish a game project. Or if you're coming from the 2 Penny Gamescast podcast, we just stick it on at the end of whatever week we record it.
Just tack it right on there.
Just tack it right on there. Phil, Gears of War is a video game.
Tavin, what are your thoughts on Gears of War?
I think it's a video game.
Yeah.
So, overall, I liked Gears of War fine.
Yeah. It's by far, Gears of War 1 is by far the most fine game of the series.
And that's encouraging to hear you say that, because Gears of War is a storied franchise at this point. Mm-hmm. And while playing it, I was like, okay, I can see how maybe we would get a sequel out of it, but like, growing up, Gears of War had a hype around it that I don't quite understand from this individual game.
It's very much of its time. I'm not sure how much you're going to like going into the next parts of the series.
Okay.
I know.
Do you think when we get into that new era with the 4 and 5 that maybe it'll be a little better?
Maybe, because they like kind of change how the game is a little bit.
Okay.
They add a lot more like openness.
Yeah.
To the games.
So, for those who don't know, I don't know how you wouldn't know when you found this video. Gears of War is a third-person shooter. One that I think is...
It popularized the cover-based...
Yeah.
Cover to cover.
It's given that credit as the press a button, get into a chest-high wall piece of cover.
Blind fire.
Blind fire, and then the active reload system, which is fun enough.
It's kind of it's a big staple of that series. The active reload.
It's a neat little gimmick.
Yeah. Also, another staple of that series, the chainsaw bayonet,
which is brutal and fun to use. I want to go ahead and start with weapons then.
Yeah. Go for it.
There weren't as many as I was expecting.
No, there's only like 6?
6, maybe? Yeah. Shotgun, sniper rifle, 2 types of assault rifles, 2 pistols. Mm-hmm. That it?
A rocket launcher. Boom shot.
And then I guess if you want to count the...
the torque bow.
Oh, the torque bow. So, okay, so there's like 9, actually, if you want to count the... what's the big satellite weapon?
Oh, the Hammer of Dawn.
Hammer of Dawn. Is that really what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Hammer of Dawn, yeah.
Isn't that a ship in Halo?
That's the Forward Unto Dawn.
Oh, okay. Hammer of Dawn. Interesting. Yeah. So, okay, like 9 weapons. I guess it just didn't feel like that many.
Yeah. I mean, because you kind of just get what you like and just use that the entire time.
Yeah, pretty much the entire time. And the game supplies you with more than enough ammo, so you're rarely ever out of it. At least on the difficulty we played on. I don't know if ammo gets scarcer or
I think maybe, but there's set ammo caches.
Yeah, or maybe it's because the amount of damage enemies took. Maybe if they on higher difficulties they take more damage, so you gotta obviously use more ammo. So.
They do.
I'll be quite honest in the front. This is not an era of gaming I'm particularly fond of.
Yeah. That being like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, it's not my. It's very bro shootery.
When did it come out? Like 2005, 2006.
That sounds right. It's a 360 game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 360.
Okay, so yeah, it's got to be at least 2006.
Yep, 2006.
Yep. Yeah, so it's just everything is brown and gray and everything looks the same. And
you didn't even play the original. We played the remaster,
the Xbox One remaster,
which they livened up the colors a little bit. So if you thought that was gray and bland,
dude, I really did. And everything just kind of looks like one palette, and every voice sounds almost exactly the same. And
I'll give you,
with the exception of like your token black character.
No, I'll give you Marcus and Baird. They do sound similar, but Dom and Cole and Hoffman and Anya and
okay, I guess Anya's fair, but that's because he's the woman.
And the like other like side characters. They all the only ones that sound similar to me in this first game are Baird and Marcus.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like this is probably going to be one of our shorter after the hypes because
there's not
it's the shortest game we've played so far.
Indeed,
for hype.
Yep.
And as you just said, there's just not much to talk about here. It's just a classic third-person cover-based shooter.
Right, so we talked about weapons,
short campaign.
Let's get into the campaign.
Yeah.
So you start off in prison.
Yeah, sure. I don't remember that.
You don't?
Oh, I mean, I do remember the doors and it being a prison, but it's not like they're actually in prison. Like they're
no. Dom isn't. Marcus is.
For what?
It had something to do
Is
with
he a POW or something?
No, he's not a POW. That wasn't a Locust prison.
Oh,
That was a human prison
Oh, okay.
that Locust had overrun.
I obviously was paying a lot of attention.
You obviously you were, but no,
Well,
he's like in prison for like war crimes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not. No, it was like insubordination. He got like court-martialed.
Oh, okay.
He got like court-martialed.
Okay, that makes sense. And that I think that fits the character, so that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, talking broadly narratively, there's not a lot here. I mean, it's just pretty bare bones. Like get the player back on the sticks as quick as possible. Just enough dialogue, just enough narration, just enough talking over the comms to justify what the player is doing in the moment. But we're not sitting around and having a moment where the characters can talk and chat about their lives.
I didn't talk to you about this beforehand, but I wanna start like a little fun little segment in this and see like how much you remember from the game.
I don't remember much.
All right.
I remember the gameplay moments. I do not remember narrative beats. I could not tell you what happens in this game.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
What is Marcus's last name?
Phoenix.
Okay.
But that's pop
What is
culture.
the name of Marcus's squad?
Are they Delta Squad?
Yes, they are Delta Squad. What is the name of the main enemy?
Locust.
There you go.
You said it earlier in this conversation, but I knew that anyway.
Oh, okay. What was the name of the main villain?
Oh, fuck, dude. Do they even say his name?
Yeah.
Do they really?
Yep.
I have no idea. He is Ogre number 1 from Lord of the Rings.
I will say he's part of his name is his what's it called? Rank.
You said it a lot.
He's a general.
General. Nah, I don't got it. You said it a lot in our playthrough. I remember you saying it a lot, and I'm like, man, he really knows this guy's name, and I don't think they've even said it.
General Rom.
Rom. Yeah. Okay.
RAAM.
Yeah, that was a character who I think. What does he show up in the beginning and then not at all until the end of the game?
He shows up in the beginning, one part in the middle, and then at the very end.
Okay. Yeah, and then I guess you could call that a boss fight.
Yep. I mean, well, no, it's much harder on Insane.
Oh, I'm sure everything is harder
solo.
on Insane. But yeah,
it's fucking tough. I'll try. Let me try something else. What was the main goal of Delta Squad?
Fuck, dude. Well, they start in looking for Alpha Squad.
Mm-hmm. True.
And then we find that they're all dead.
All but
Cole.
Cole and
Baird.
Yep.
Okay. I only know that because I know they came later.
Yep. Yep. So what? So okay.
And
so
then from there,
what was the goal? They took over Alpha Squad's goal, which was.
God. You see, this is like a thing where we're doing the live shows, and we're talking over them talking.
I know.
And a lot of the jargon sounds the same. So man, I was not paying attention. Something about. So I want to say it was like something about cutting fuel lines to disrupt enemy locomotion or something. Or
no.
Fuck.
So they were carrying around a little device called a resonator.
Delta Squad was?
Yeah, Cole was, because that was Alpha Squad's goal.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, okay, yeah. And then they mapped out the locust lines so then they could
mapped
blow
out the tunnels
them up
to blow them up.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
They mapped them out.
That's right.
To blow them up.
I remember this now.
Yep.
Holy fuck! I should have put a little more thought.
Yep.
Into this.
All right, so yeah, that's the story. That's the story of Gears of War. Is
blow up the thing. Okay.
Yep. Literally, map out tunnels, blow up caves.
Okay. Cool. I'll say. For a first title in a series, there was a decent amount of enemy variety, which was appreciated.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, fuck.
So let's run through the enemies then.
I don't know, dude.
All
There's
right.
the boomer because they said boom.
Mm-hmm.
I called them frumpy monkeys, but they had.
You did not call them frumpy monkeys. You called them angry monkeys.
I called them frumpy monkeys from day 2 on, and most of our playthrough was.
Did you look back and see that I was right?
I didn't care. I'd already died.
You tried to say that you didn't say angry monkeys.
Did I say angry monkeys?
You said angry monkeys.
Did you look back and
no?
say,
But I know that's what you said because I don't need to go look back. But no, okay. So we got grubs.
Those are the monkeys.
No,
grubs.
So
grubs just your
locust
typical...
drones who they call grubs
are your regular dudes.
The regular dudes.
Okay.
Then you have wretches, Those are the monkeys.
Those are the monkeys.
Yep.
Okay.
Wretches. Yep.
Okay.
They scream
And
at you a
there's
lot.
Boomers. 'Cause They say boom.
Yep. Yep.
And
we
then
got Theron guards.
yeah, I was just gonna say what were the guard like the next step up for those
Theron
guys.
guards. Yep.
And then what are the bugs, the like hornets or the
the krill.
krill? That's it. No, that's all.
Nope. And then we had
And then the volcanic versions. Oh, berserkers. Yeah,
It's berserkers.
yeah. And then the volcanic
not
version
volcanic,
of
lambent, because they were irradiated.
the. Okay, sure, whatever. They were volcanic.
They're irradiated, not volcanic.
Okay, that's it, right? For the most part.
And Reavers. They were the giant. Oh, Reavers. We're missing two more after Reavers. So we have Reavers.
What was the Reaver?
Reaver was like the thing that flew like around, like the thing. At the on the
okay,
train.
those things at the end. Okay,
yeah.
sure, yeah. And then that thing they added.
That's like their main vehicle.
And then that thing they added with the cut content, the big thing.
Oh
Weaver?
no, I'm thinking of three more.
What was the big thing?
The big thing was a Brumok.
Brumok.
It was a Brumok. Then we have the Cedar, which is the giant spider ball sack.
Oh, that's right.
And then we have just the giant spider, which is a Corpser. And then we have the Nemesis, which were the inky squid ball things that flew at you. So yeah, those are all the enemies in Gears 1.
Yeah. There's a decent amount of them,
yeah.
like or in terms of variety.
And then they add more in too.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I would hope so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, this game, it's fine. The shooting, it's fine. It's competent enough. It's old and it's a little stiff. I don't particularly like shooters where you shoot an enemy and they don't like react to getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
Not my favorite thing in the world.
They're very bullet spongy.
Yeah, it's very much put enough bullets into them until they fall down.
Or
not my favorite
put
type of
one
shooter.
bullet into their head and they explode into chunks.
Yeah, I did appreciate the chunks and the level of dismemberment in the game.
Cool.
That was always fun. Hitting a dude in the shotgun and him just getting cut in half. That's always a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what game you put it in.
Yeah.
And listen, man, I don't know if there's much more to say. The vehicle sections didn't really like any of them.
There's only one.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I thought there was at least two.
No.
Is there not two?
There's only one.
Oh, it sucked then.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was just like this clunky tank that felt almost paperweighty in the way, and it just it felt like it was made together with cardboard boxes and rubber bands.
I mean, if you're thinking of another vehicle, there's like the minecart on the rail section, but it's not really vehicle. It's like
it's a literally on rails shooter section.
No, the only vehicle is whenever you're on the APC.
Okay, and that APC sucks. It's
and you have like the light turret, UV turret, I should say.
And then there's enough. They go, okay, here's a mechanic. Stay inside certain radiuses. How do we justify that? Okay, it's light. You have to stay inside of light. Okay, what type of enemy kills you instantly if you step outside of light? Let's come up with these like
bats.
little bat things. Okay, cool, that works. It's just enough to they do enough narrative legwork to justify a gameplay mechanic.
Mm-hmm. There's never not a reason for
which. Coming after Kingdom Hearts was appreciated.
Oh my god! there is a reason in Kingdom Hearts. It's because darkness, Tavin.
Yeah,
it's
darkness.
Because darkness.
Yeah, hand wave magic. Don't look too closely.
Darkness.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say there's enough fun, and I think co-op added a lot to it for me. I don't know if I were to ever play this game on my own. Without the show, of course, if I would ever make it through the end of this game. Just because I'm the type of gamer who doesn't, if your gameplay does not, like, fucking go above and beyond, I need some kind of narrative hook to get me through, some type of character to be, like, charming enough to get there, and these guys are just not it. These guys are just so rough and gruff and tough and,
they're men.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know this, Tavin. Marcus Phoenix is a man.
Yeah, he's a man. His body proportions don't make any sense. He's a man. So, and it's just, it really is just from that era of everything has to be military. Everything has to be, your tough.
Everything has to
generic,
be quote unquote badass.
Military dude. Yeah, everything has to be badass. Like, oh man, they say shit a lot because they're so badass. And I'm like, all right, cool, dude.
Shit.
And everything has to be brown because it's war torn and it looks
dirty.
more exciting. You know, this era also was reflected in the films, in the film industry, and in like the different types of films you could see in this era. It's
just media in general.
Yeah, it's a lot of just brown and military jargon again and again and again, and it's all the same. So yeah, when it came to Gears of War, at least the first one, I was like, all right, cool. Not a bad time. Not a series with the amount of renown it has behind it. Not a series I would ever say, yeah, you got to go play Gears of War. You know? Granted, we only played campaign. I feel like Gears of War is known more for multiplayer.
Oh, dude, multiplayer is fun.
Yeah, so, and things like Horde mode and stuff,
dude,
which I don't think Horde mode comes in until 2, right?
Horde mode doesn't come in until 3, I believe.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, and I know multiplayer and Horde mode were like things that really.
No, Horde mode was in 2, I think.
I feel like it was in 2.
Because they added what was called I think it's called Beast mode in 3, which is where you play as the Locust.
Oh.
And you attack Gears.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Gears are players, I assume.
No.
Oh. Interesting.
Actually, no. Yes, they are.
Okay.
There's some bots, but there's also actual players.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, so, I mean, and so I'll say there's a huge element here that I'm probably missing. I'm missing because we're talking early Xbox Live days. So there's a community thing, and this is what makes the early Halos so great as well, is that community being built up through the invention of Xbox Live with Halo 2 and Halo 3, or starting with Halo 2 and evolving into Halo 3 the way it does. So really missing that era and that context and that time and place, I think hurts this game. Not a lot, but it definitely detracts from its value.
I was thinking that earlier. Like you're very late to the party with Gears.
I am. So
and
I think even Gears of War now, I would assume from trailers and gameplay, it seems like they leaned a little more narratively.
Yes,
and I would assume they would have had to, because multiplayer gaming now is not what it was then.
Yeah,
you know, it's somehow it's more connected and less community driven now.
Mm-hmm.
There's not so much making friends online anymore. I mean, there still is, of course, because you're just interacting with people.
Sure.
You're gonna find somebody
naturally.
But, yeah, before it was like, oh man, I met like my best friends in my whole life on Halo 2, and that's just probably not going to happen now. Now I have a Call of Duty friend who I play Call of Duty with, you know, or whatever. I mean, I don't. Cause
I was going to say, do you actually? I've never seen you play Call of Duty a day in your life.
I haven't played Call of Duty in, I guess, only a year, because I played Modern Warfare.
I think I played the campaign. I didn't play the multiplayer of it.
I played a little bit of multiplayer.
But no, the last
and then I played some Warzone.
The last Call of Duty I actually fucking delved into is Modern Warfare 3.
That was the last one I went hard into.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then that is the end. That is like the last remnants of that era that we're talking about when it comes to multiplayer.
Did you ever play Infinite Warfare campaign?
Yeah. I remember liking it a lot.
I liked the campaign a lot, yeah.
Troy Baker, Kevin Spacey. Good time.
Wait. Kevin Spacey's not in Infinite
Warfare. That's
Warfare.
not Infinite Warfare.
No.
Oh,
that's Advanced Warfare.
Oh, okay. Well, then no, I skipped it. I skipped
Infinite Warfare is where they go to space.
Oh, yeah, I skipped Infinite.
Infinite Warfare's got a pretty good campaign.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, that's got
surprisingly good. Yes.
Yeah.
He plays the guy from Mars.
Let's go. Yeah, Advanced Warfare. Man, they really need to move past that naming structure. That's not that.
Yep.
That little trilogy or whatever of games.
It's more than a trilogy.
It's Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, and that's it. I mean, I guess, unless you want to count the Modern Warfare reboot.
I was gonna say there's Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Advanced Warfare, and then Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, but Advanced is by Sledgehammer.
Is it?
Yeah, all the other Warfares are Infinity Ward.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
So, and then I think Sledgehammer got dissolved, if my memory's correct, or not dissolved, but their game got canceled, so now Activision's going twice. Or I'm sorry, Treyarch is going twice, or something. I don't know. Weird things.
We're not even talking about Gears of War anymore.
I think there's a reason for that.
I think that's about it. That's all we have to say.
Anything more is just going to be a stretch. So like, this is the shortest after the hype ever.
Yeah.
And for
This is like as long as we thought the first episode was going to be.
Exactly. And then it turns out we can talk about Kingdom Hearts and we can talk about Metal Gear a lot more than we can talk about Gears.
Yeah.
Because it's just okay. Yeah, there were some fun weapons. I did not like what was the arrow one called? The bow and arrow one?
The torque bow.
The torque bow, didn't like that weapon at all.
It's a lot cooler in like multiplayer and higher difficulties.
Oh, okay.
Because like you kind of need to land those shots.
Oh, okay. What was it called? A boom rifle? Was that what the
boom shot?
The boom shot? Boom shot was fine. It was functional. Yeah, both assault rifles felt almost exactly the same to me.
One of them's a burst fire, though.
Yeah, except one of them was burst fire, which in times I liked more than the assault rifle, or what is it called?
Lancer.
The Lancer.
That
shotgun is nasty. The sniper rifle.
Nasher, yep.
The sniper. I just want to. I'm directly comparing the long shot to the sniper rifle in Halo, and it's hard to beat that rifle from Halo. You know,
dude, the long shot's good though. Long shot's a good sniper rifle.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it fine.
Long shot's a good sniper
especially
rifle.
with the active reload where. Like a little meter pops up when you reload, and if you hit the bar at the right moment, then you get extra damage on your next clip of ammo or whatever.
Yup. For a limited time.
For a limited time. It's a good mechanic. It's a good gimmick. It adds some type of flavor and character to the game that otherwise isn't there.
Yeah, for sure.
Along with the Lancer's chainsaw. But yeah, that is all I have to say about Gears of War.
I will say in the next game they introduced executions.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, where there's more than just the chainsaw.
Oh,
execution.
There's specific like little animations for every weapon.
I think there's 2 for every weapon.
2 for every weapon.
Yep.
Very nice. That'll be fun.
Actually, no. I think there's 3. Because like it's mapped to each like button on the controller.
Oh, interesting. Okay. No, that would actually be kind of neat and refreshing in a lot of ways. I'll say at least it's short. It didn't overstay its welcome. As soon as a mechanic was getting old, it got rid of it.
It was a nice burp away from the mic, by the way.
Yeah, I was
didn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, as soon as the mechanic was getting old, they got rid of it.
Yep.
You know, as soon as I was like, okay, can I stop having to focus on being in the light? They were like, yeah, you're done. Oh, great, fantastic. As soon as like I was like, man, can I go back to punching enemies? Why are these? What did you call them? Not volcanic. The other word.
Lambent.
As soon as these lambent enemies got annoying, I was like, can I chainsaw something? Yeah, you can chainsaw something here. Oh, okay, dope.
Yeah, it's like one gimmick per act, essentially.
Yeah. So, and then every time a berserker came up, I liked it a lot. Every time a berserker
berserker's
came up.
fun.
Yeah, just because it was
Enemy
just a solid break of here's an enemy you can't kill.
It's an enemy you can't solve by just shooting it.
Yeah. You got to do a little more to do this. I hope there's more enemies like that in which it's like, okay, well, you have to blow off its armor before you can kill it or something. I don't know.
I'm trying to think in 2 because that's going to be the next one we do when we go back to Gears of War.
Yeah. So in terms of gameplay and mechanics, really well paced. Story, bare bones. It's there just for a function to justify mechanics. Characters, boring. At least what is presented in 1. So much so that like after like 30 minutes, I turned my ears off and I was like, it just doesn't. It clearly, they're very clear in the beginning. It's like, hey, listen, that is not what matters here. So yeah, overall. Enjoyed my time. Would have enjoyed it a lot less if I didn't play co-op with you.
With me.
And open to doing more of that. One. Yeah, open to playing that again. Or having that experience again with a sequel. I don't know if I'd ever want to play Gears of War 1 ever.
And you don't have to.
Yeah. I don't think anybody ever has to.
Yeah.
But neat enough.
The only reason I went back to it is whenever it was because it got remastered. And I was like, oh man, now everything looks slightly better.
Wow, let's pop a couple Chivos.
Yeah, that too.
Do we do scores on this show?
I mean, I have every single time.
You like doing scores. I'm not a big score guy because I feel like you. I don't know, man. 6.
6 out of 10.
6, sure.
That's cool.
Why not?
That's fine.
High 5, low 6. Just because it's a game. It's a video game. I played it.
Yeah. Cross that one off the list.
I had a moderate amount of fun.
Yeah.
Neat. So Phil.
Yep.
That is Gears of War After the Hype.
Indeed it is.
You can catch this show whenever we fucking finish a series on twitch.tv/2pennygames, Tuesdays at 8 a.m. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, come check us out. We're probably live right now.
I am. I'm live
this week. We will not be streaming Hype. I've got a family thing I gotta get to. But next week, the 30th.
Yes, it was the 30th.
The 30th, we will be returning a series that we started this last week. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater with Phil at the helm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I do not imagine we'll finish it on the 30th, so it might
probably not.
It might be a while before we get to another After the Hype. But until then, ladies and gentlemen,
catch you in April.
Catch you in April. Again, twitch.tv/2pennygames, youtube.com/2pennygamescast. Listen to the podcast on any of the podcast services that you like. But until then, Phil, say bye to the people.
Bye-bye.